Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And Massimo will join us for this vlog once again because we recorded this back-to-back with the last vlog, so same deal this time.
Licking face.
And today we're going to talk about Lovely, Dark, and Deep, which is a horror film by Teresa Sutherland. She both wrote and directed the film. I'm not familiar with any of her other movies, but I did enjoy this movie for what it's worth. This movie is about a park ranger named Lennon who is a newbie park ranger. This is her first week essentially being on the job, and someone attending the park goes missing, and she slowly discovers that there's actually a bit of a conspiracy with this park of people going missing, and there's this big question throughout the movie of, is it aliens? Is it some sort of secret thing happening with the people who run the park? Are we dealing with fairies?
Yeah.
Or is it just an evil fucking forest?
Yeah. Throughout the movie, you could very much take it as almost any of them, with aliens being the least likely.
Yeah, least likely. It's one of the possibilities throughout the movie. When you get to the end, you are pretty sure it's one of those things, but you could read it as many of them.
Yeah.
The one thing that you're pretty sure of by the end of this story is that whatever's going on, regardless of which explanation it is, it's definitely supernatural.
Yeah.
This isn't like just people going missing.
No.
There is something magical going on here.
Yeah. My favorite interpretation is like fairies.
Yeah.
Because
fairies is where I landed too by the end of this movie.
Yeah, and when we say that, we don't mean like pixies. You know, like we're talking like, oh no, these are the motherfuckers who like lure you into the woods and then do fucked up things with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Oh,
so
God.
the movie follows Lennon, who became a park ranger because when she was a child, her sister went missing in the same woods. So there's a part of her that's kind of taken this job to find clues for what happened to her sister, or at the very least prevent that from happening to anyone else in the future, but ends up uncovering way more than she bargained for and ends up in series of like, I don't know what you call them, like nightmares.
Yeah.
Reality itself starts warping around her.
Yeah. You're not sure what's the real world and what isn't.
Yeah, you're not sure at all.
Yeah, and she isn't sure and you aren't sure.
The only thing that you know for damn sure is that once she ends up in this other realm, there is no leaving it, and you are at the whim of whatever the hell is controlling it, whether it be fairies, aliens, or whatever. And it's gonna show you what it wants to show you, and that includes trauma from your past.
Yeah.
It will fucking torment you with it.
Yeah.
Not to help you work through it, but to almost punish you.
Yeah, it's not like the thing in like Men or even like the Lord of Misrule. This thing is like, oh no, the forest demands a sacrifice.
Yeah, there's no greater good in this.
No.
It is a thing that is greater than you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. I don't know if you call it a folk horror or what. It's definitely a woods horror.
It's definitely wilderness horror. Yeah.
Wilderness horror. We've seen quite a few of those the last few years.
Yeah, it has a lot in common with some of the other, like, people go into the woods and like have these weird psychedelic altered perception scenarios like In the Earth and stuff like that. But this one is way more overtly supernatural and way less science fiction.
Yeah. It also has a lot in common with movies like Baskin, those Journey to Hell movies where you're kind of journeying through your own hell. Except in this case, it's not necessarily hell. You're not sure what it is.
It's not great. It's not pleasant.
No,
you know?
It's not pleasant at all. You feel really bad for Lennon. She doesn't deserve any of this.
No.
She is a very good person, and these things are not, whatever they are.
Yeah, whatever these things are, they just want their sacrifice, and that's what they care about.
This isn't a particularly, like, gory movie. It's way more psychological.
No, it's not, actually. I hadn't thought about that until you mentioned it, but no, it's not.
No.
It's a lot.
Most of the horror is more psychological in nature. It's more like her being tormented by images and scenes from her past, but, like, twisted in a weird way.
Yeah.
That's unsettling.
It reminded me a lot of, like, Synchronic and Endless.
Yeah, 100%. I could totally see that.
My favorite thing about this movie is that it is a straight-up horror movie.
Yeah.
It is a straight-up horror movie.
There is no doubt.
Yeah. What genre is this fall in? No, it's horror. It's horror because you can't even say that it's like, oh, it's like science fiction horror.
No, not really.
It's just a pure horror movie.
Even if you interpret it as aliens, it's still a horror movie.
Yeah, it would be aliens by way of a horror film as opposed to a science fiction movie.
Exactly.
There ain't no E.T. Fuck. It's not even like Close Encounters.
No.
They're not even that nice.
And to be clear, there's not really any overt science fiction elements in this. It feels more magical than science.
Yeah.
There's only like a couple lines in the movie that open up the possibility of something like aliens.
Yeah.
Because for most of the movie, it very much feels like forest creatures.
Yeah.
You know, whether
a forest creature or like maybe a demon or something.
Some sort of entity trapped in the woods. You know, or maybe it lives there, or maybe it is the forest. Yeah. Maybe it's an old god.
Yeah.
Who knows? One thing's for sure, it definitely like captures your soul, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Yes. You end up in another like dimension.
And even if you manage to make it out of that maze, you're not the same.
No. Your perception of reality has been so screwed with. The thing that everyone says when they encounter real people is, are you real?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you real?
100%. Really like the way they worked that in, so you knew when someone said that where you were.
Yeah.
So I definitely enjoyed this movie. We're going to move on to the spoilers so we can start talking about the answers to some of the mysteries in the movie. Some of it is kind of unanswerable because it is a little ambiguous as to what the forest actually is.
Yeah, the character's journey is not ambiguous, but the supernatural thing is.
Some of her questions are answered.
Yeah, her big questions are answered.
Yep.
But not necessarily the ones
and also
concerning the nature of it.
Also, some of your audience questions are answered too, especially given like how long has this been going on and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend this movie. It is currently available on Tubi if you want to watch it for free. You'll have to watch it with ads, but it is totally worth it. It's available on other streaming platforms to like rent or buy, but Tubi's the place where it's currently free to view. So with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, let us move on to the spoilers.
Yeah, one of the things I really, really liked about it was the experienced park rangers, which is almost all the others, know about it.
Yeah, that's the big reveal.
Near the end of the film.
It is near the end of the movie. You're wondering why the rangers are behaving the way they are at the beginning. Because there are certain things where it's like, okay, she technically didn't follow protocol, but she did save someone at the beginning of the movie. But you're wondering why they're so mad at her for it. Like, there's not even a little bit of that, like, all right, you shouldn't have broke those rules, but good job.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even that.
Yeah, they're actually, like, kind of horrified.
Yeah, they're horrified, and they're like, we're gonna fucking fire you, so don't leave your fucking cabin.
You find out that the reason that they're so horrified is because if you bring someone back from that world, it's gonna take somebody else.
Exactly. So basically what she does is she actually saves someone who goes missing. And it turns out you're not supposed to do that when it's the forest itself that has taken them.
Yeah.
When someone just goes missing because they're lost, you can go bring that person back. But if you go and search for them and they give you that whole like, are you a real person question, and it becomes clear that they were taken by the forest itself and somehow escaped the maze, you're supposed to let them stay lost.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it will take another person and the consequences will be far greater than if you just let it take someone. That's why the Rangers like are going to fire her at the beginning when she does save someone who turns out was trapped in that maze. So that's answered. And what's also answered is it turns out years ago, her current boss was actually the ranger who dealt with her sister going missing.
Yeah.
And she did find her sister. But her sister was taken by the forest, so she had to let the sister
had to leave her there. Yeah.
Be lost in the forest. And it's one of those, we have no choice. This thing is greater than all of us kind of situations.
Yeah.
Like you're dealing with like an elder god or the forest spirits or something that is so beyond human understanding or human capability to handle.
Yeah.
That all we can do is just save the ones that don't get lost that way.
Yeah.
We have to let the others get lost.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, we have to let them get lost because
don't want you messing with those kids.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna be somebody else, and you cannot play that game forever.
No, you can't. You can't. And the person that's most likely gonna be is whoever found the missing person, which is exactly what happens to Lennon. She ends up getting caught in the maze, and the forest gives her this choice. Either you find us a new victim, or you will be trapped here forever.
Yeah, or you stay here. you know?
So there's this midsection of the movie where she's struggling with whether to give it another victim. And it presents her with possible victims, the Finley couple.
Yeah, there's an elderly couple that she knows from, like, because...
Mr. and Mrs. Finley.
Mr. and Mrs. Finley, who she recognizes because part of the reason she's a park ranger is that she is also a hiker.
Yeah, and she's obviously been visiting this place, like, since she was a child. Like, her sister went missing
she knows
there.
it really well.
And so she's presented with this very sweet elderly couple to give up to the forest, and she just can't do it. She became a park ranger to save people, not to hurt people. So at that point, halfway through the movie, it's just the fucking forest tormenting her for that decision.
Yeah.
Until her boss.
Yeah.
Zhang, I think is her name.
Yeah.
She finds her. They have that whole "are you real" moment, so you know it's a real conversation and not just in her head or something that's being shown to her by the forest. And that's when Zhang reveals that she found the sister and all that stuff, and that has tormented her for years because it's not usually a child. And in that instance, it was a child.
Yeah, and so that, like, fucked her up especially.
So she makes the decision to give herself up so that Lennon can live.
Yeah, because she's like, I can't let it take both of you.
Yeah.
That's...
to make up for the past sin of letting the sister get taken, which is how Lennon ends up getting free. Now, this is the part of the movie where I go, okay, I get it, movie, but I also don't get it. So Lennon decides after this to continue as being one of the park rangers. And the movie ends with another person going missing, her going and following the book, like following the rules this time.
Yeah.
Finding the person who went missing, realizing they're trapped in the woods, and then walking away and letting them stay lost to the woods. I get it, but on the other hand, I'm sitting there going like, I could not continue doing that job once I know that's what it entails.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised, given her past, that she can.
Yeah, because like you expect her to just kind of like, nah, that's it, I quit, I'm out of here. And to have that epilogue done by one of the other rangers.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the other dude, I don't know his name, it was like Jackson or something.
Yeah, the dude who's...
the mentor guy.
The mentor dude, yeah.
The one who kind of takes her under his wing when she first joins and is just like, yeah, like, if you need any help, you need more batteries for your flashlights or whatever, just let me know. I'm just over that ridge, you know?
I love the way they did the reveal that the park rangers all knew.
Yep.
They're constantly talking over radio.
Yep.
And when she's taken, she still technically has her radio, but she can't talk through it.
Yep.
And so it's one of those like, I think the woods got her. Oh, fuck. I knew it was gonna fucking happen.
You know what this movie also reminds me of? A much better version of a movie like Yellow Brick Road.
It's way better than Yellow Brick Road.
Because Yellow Brick Road was also about people going out into the woods and kind of getting lost in this weird psychedelic fucking nightmare.
Right.
This is a much better version of that.
Oh, it's a way better version, yeah.
Everywhere that movie failed, this movie succeeds,
yes.
in my opinion.
Yes.
Not to mention the fact that the hell that she goes through is so personal. When you start like going through the torment of her past, like her dad committing suicide and all that stuff, like it hits you. You're like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And you could tell that the whole reason why this is happening, why the forest is re-showing her these traumatic moments of her past, is not to help her get through the trauma.
No.
It's to punish her for not giving it a new victim and for letting a victim go free.
Yeah.
She is in a hell and being punished for the sin of being a good park ranger, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why I'm so surprised she sticks with the job afterwards. But I guess, like, at that point, the torch has been passed from Zhang to her. The cycle continues.
Yeah. Cycle continues.
The circle of life. The circle of life when you're dealing with crazy forest spirits.
Yeah. The sense of we have no way of really dealing with this or comprehending it is palpable.
And that's made even stronger by leaving it so ambiguous as to what exactly it is. We know what it does.
Yeah. We know all about what it does.
It takes people, essentially takes their souls. But what we don't know is what it is exactly.
Yeah, what it is exactly, why it's doing it.
No, we just know that it does. It demands it, and it will not take no for an answer.
Yep.
You know, it will punish anyone who defies it. So it does feel like an angry god.
Yeah, because what it wants is very clear.
Yep.
You know?
Some of the imagery when you're stuck inside definitely feels like fairies and stuff. Hey,
yeah.
What's up? You're really excited right now.
Just wants to bite your hand.
Sorry about that. Massimo decided to accost me with love and affection. A lot of the imagery when you're trapped inside, like the people climbing on the trees, feels like fairies.
Yeah.
Like forest spirits of some kind.
But everything they do is all about trapping you and keeping you there.
Yep, 100%.
You know?
100%.
No, we're digging in the couch again.
It's a good movie.
Really, really good.
It's not the movie you watch for a body count or blood or gore or anything like that.
No.
But it's a really fucking good spirit of the forest, kind of like psychedelic horror movie.
Yeah.
Very psychological, but also mystical at the same time.
The movie, as far as like the way its horror works, reminds me a bit of The Watcher in the Woods.
I can see that, yeah.
You know, but this is much more intense than Watcher in the Woods, because that's a PG Disney horror.
This is still an adult movie.
Yeah, it's still very adult.
It's not like there's like sex and violence every 5 seconds, but it's not intended for kids.
Yeah. Watching the spirit explain to her what it wants.
Yeah. Because the spirit
crap
will take the form of someone and talk to her.
Yeah.
Throughout it. And whenever it takes the form of someone, that's when you start to get those like fairy kind of vibes, because it will not move right?
Yeah.
You know? Almost like a, what do you call it? Like a changeling almost.
Yeah. Like a changeling or a fetch or a puppet.
Yeah, exactly.
Something. It takes her form and is like, well, this is what I want you to do. And like takes her gun out and just shoots the old woman in the fucking head. Whoa, okay.
And I love that split second where you're not sure if it actually killed them or not. Like,
yeah. No, I just love the fact that the creature's very direct in what it wants you to do.
It's very blunt for a magical spirit. Because many times when you're dealing with the mystical, I don't know what else to call it other than the vague language that magic creatures use.
Yeah.
It's never direct. It's always you got to figure it out. This thing is so direct.
Yeah.
It tells you right away what it wants you to do.
It's just flat out, well, since you saved somebody, I want you to go kill somebody and sacrifice it to me.
And it would be a real shame if you were stuck here forever.
It's
like a fucking mob boss.
Yeah. Nice existence you have. Be a real shame if something happened to it.
Exactly. You know? It's a good movie. Yeah. I definitely recommend it. If you have Tubi, check it out. Where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Well, you can find me on YouTube on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I stream and we talk about horror movies and all sorts of groovy things that cross the dark veil of our minds. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I stream it on Twitch, also at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that one is a more general whatever. I will usually be playing video games kind of things while talking to people through the stream. Those ones are much more relaxed. You should stop by at both of them. I'd love to see you there. And what about you?
Y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And if you make it this far into the video, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag #TakeNothing,
Kill nothing.
Use that hashtag. That way I know. That way Jack knows. That way the whole world knows that you watched this video all the way through. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, we got one more vlog we're going to record. It's actually for an older movie that we just never got around to, and we're finally going to talk about it. So look forward to that. And with that said, peace out.